Hello, students and learners. A very good morning. Welcome back to economics class. Today we will learn about that is how do we collect data? How do we collect data? In my last class, we have studied about the two sources of data, primary source and secondary source. And now we will discuss that the methods followed in order to collect the data. Okay, in this video just I will talk in English now first, and later I will discuss in Kannada. ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತದನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. There are three modes or methods of data. Three modes or methods of data. The first one is personal interview method. Personal interview method. This method used when the researcher has access to all the members. Here you have to understand all the members means who? The respondents. The people from you wish to collect the data, they are your respondents, and you are a researcher, you are an investigator. If you wish to collect the data from primary schools about the infrastructure, that I have raised an example through the Google Meet, but due to technical errors we have not made enough discussion there. Now here, as I said in the example, that you wanted to study about the infrastructural problems in primary schools, area Nippani. Then in case of personal interview method, you require to visit the primary schools during their working hours, and you have to meet whom? Headmaster. Yes, the headmaster, the class teachers will be your respondents. You start asking them the questions one by one, general questions, later specific questions, and the class teacher or headmaster or whoever the in charge, they will respond you, they will answer you to your question, isn't it? So here you could have access to all the members in case of personal interview method. There is a face to face interview with the respondents in case of personal interview method. When you visit the primary schools, you may came across a face to face with all the respondents, class teachers, headmaster, headmistress, whatever. Here face to face contact communication take place. What are its merits? If you choose personal interview method, what benefits we could have? Supposed to, the very first benefit is opportunity is there to explain the study and answering any query of respondents if they have. Yes, when you have face to face interview, face to face communications, you could tell them about your study also, that why you are interested in collecting the data. Yes, you can explore your ideas about the study, and you can obtain their belief, their faith, and easily you can collect the data. And if they have any doubts or queries, you can answer there only, isn't it? The very next merit is request the respondent to expand on answers that are particularly important. Yes, if you wish to get elaborated answers on the particular questions that you are raising before them. You could collect more the information by asking them more in depth. Yes, that can happen in case of personal interview method. Misinterpretation and misunderstanding can be avoided. If is there any misunderstanding? If is there any misinterpretation in case of questions? So you can solve those instantly. You can solve those instantly there only. And due solving the misinterpretation or overcoming the misunderstanding, you can, yes, make them to feel free to answer your questions. And one more, the positive impact is watch the reactions of respondents. When you meet to the respondents face to face, communication will take place, and there you can watch their responses, their reactions, how they are, at what extent, at what degree they are telling right the truth. You can observe their behavior, their thinking. When you look after their face, as we know that face is the index of mind, so you will come to know little bit more about the facts there. Yes. Then if you look after the demerits, what are those? It is more expensive. It is more expensive. Why? Why? Because you have to travel across the primary schools during their working hours. It required amount of money for traveling. Yes, for other contingencies. It required trained interviewers. Suppose in order to make this study, yes, comprehensively, yes, very quickly, then you could appoint, you could employ certain number of trained interviewers. In that case, you wanted to pay them, do expenditure for their services. So therefore it is, yes, we could say there is a requirement of trained interviewers in case of personal interview method. Long time to complete this survey, obviously, as the case is face to face interview, it takes time to cover the study area. Biased influence, biased means, yes, personal individual influence on respondents. You could may give clues while answering. If the respondent is stuck or little bit confused and unable to answer, there individually you can approach them so and so. If you are giving more the options, it means you are influencing over their thinking. So this is the demerit. This is the demerit, that in case of the respondent is unable to answer, at that time you are convincing them and giving clues, insisting in their mind to answer such XYZ. So this is what influence made by you, and this is not the research ethic. Then the second one is mailing questionnaire method. The personal interview method, as I have discussed, is foremost important method. Priority have been given by the researcher, by an investigator, to this personal interview method. The very next method is mailing questionnaire method. Under this method, the questionnaire will be sent to each individual by mail. Yes, here you know the post offices, the private couriers. So here in this case, mailing questionnaire, the questionnaire, the set of questions prepared, that is an instrument that will be sent to the individual, yes, the respondents' addresses. Nowadays, not through the post offices. Nowadays we are utilizing both the methods, Sending the questionnaire, the hard copies, yes, to the respondents addresses, or sending the questionnaire, that to particularly Google form, asking them xyz questions, sending to their emails, electronic mails. In this case, the respondents will be requested, to complete to complete and return the questionnaire by a given date. They will be asked to fill up all the particulars, answer all the questions in the questionnaire, make it complete and return it in the stipulated time, given time to them. Then what are the merits? Less expensive. Why? You are not going to meet them. Simply you are preparing this questionnaire, taking the xerox of it. Yes, you are keeping it, inserting it in the envelope and sending it through the post or through electronic mail. So it is less expensive compared to a personal interview method. Here the researcher have assist to people in remote areas. Yes, it is very important. In case your respondents are residing in remote areas, in hill stations, hill areas, where in the study area you are unable to travel across those remote areas, in such cases you can send them the questionnaire. This is very important. It does not allow biased influence on the respondents. The demerit of personal interview method, there is a individual biased influence on the respondents. Why? There is a face-to-face communication, but here there is no face-to-face communication. Therefore, you individually influence will not be there on the respondents. The respondents will receive the questionnaire through mail and they will fill it. They are not under your influence. You are not there to influence on their thoughts. It permits the respondents to take sufficient time to respond or answer. Very important. When the respondents receive the questionnaire, there is a time for them to think and answer. But in case of personal interview method, what happens? Instant you have to go to answer. No waiting. Yes, there will be no more time for answer. But here in this case, date is given, time is given. During that stipulated time, the respondents can think and answer and respond. So that is the merit of the mailing questionnaire method. Nowadays, online surveys take place through short messaging service, that is SMS, that became popular. Yes, SMS became popular. The company will ask you, either you are interested in, or you are satisfied with the Airtel service, Vodafone service, whatever the company services. Yes, no. If yes, reply by 0. If no, reply by 1. Like this, they are taking answers from you. What are the demerits then? Misunderstanding of questions. Why misunderstanding of questions? Why? Because you are sending the questionnaire, you are not going at them. Yes, if there are some questions leads misunderstanding to them, they will, yes, obviously skip the questions. They will not answer to those questions, and in such cases the incomplete questionnaire will be returned. So therefore, there is a demerit, there is misunderstanding of questions. But what happens in case of personal interview method? There, face to face, both the parties, interviewer and respondents are there. If respondent have any misunderstanding, instantly there only the interviewer will solve the misunderstanding, give the solution. But in this case, no chance. So this is a demerit. It also likely to produce low response rates due to certain reasons, such as returning the questionnaire without completing it. Yes, all the respondents could not return it in time. All the respondents could incompletely fill the questionnaire and send it back. So therefore the response rate is low in case of mailing questionnaire. Not returning the questionnaire at all. In some cases, the respondent will not return the questionnaire at all, isn't it? Loss of questionnaire in mail itself, etc. Sometimes, while sending the questionnaire through offline or through online, we may have wrong addresses, or the respondents may have migrated to other places. In such cases, the questionnaire will be lost. These are the demerits of mailing questionnaire. Okay. Now, ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಕಾದು ನೋಡಿ.